Today's invitation from me to you is be willing to dive into the confusion so that you can begin to swim in the clarity. All too often we allow ourselves to remain stuck or on the periphery of what we can see is inspiring us or calling us forward or catching our attention perhaps. We're likely to have a preconceived idea of how we feel things should be proceeding. And we can be very good at blocking anything that doesn't match up to that preconceived idea. And we do this maybe because what we're seeing emerging or approaching us may be scary. It may not be in the plan that we had. So therefore we deem it as wrong and try to avoid it at all costs. And it's much easier to remain stuck, remain where we know is safe. And we believe it to be safe because it's familiar. We may not like it, but at least we know that we can do it. The challenge comes when we are faced with that energetic invitation to move into a territory that is new and perhaps uncomfortable, where we may have to show up as the newer, heightened version of ourselves, which we may not quite be used to yet. Where we are right now is clear. We may not like where we are right now, but one thing we do have is clarity. And if we were to begin to move into that new territory, that unknown territory, then we are faced with a whole new level of confusion. I'm here to remind you that we must first walk through the confusion, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, in order to emerge into a place of clarity. Because once we have the clarity, and that may come in the form of, it's clear that I procrastinate when it comes to doing X, Y, Z. It's clear that I do want A, B, C, or D. It's clear that I don't want A, B, C, or D. If we remain on the periphery of what the universe is calling us into, then we will never get that clear idea of how to proceed, whether to course correct, what to focus on, belief stuff, mind stuff, emotional stuff. Once we have the clarity, we're able to move forward into our joyful, successful, happy and free state a lot quicker. So you may feel that it's much better to stay away from a perceived complicated or unclear situation. But please hear this. If you are being drawn forward from somewhere around here, your heart space, if you feel in the slightest bit ignited, inspired, interested, attracted to a situation, a person, a job, a subject, a country, no matter how much it may not make sense in that moment to you, I do urge you to go forth and explore. There is likely to be something very valuable for you in that situation. Valuable to your upgrade journey. Valuable to you being on a constant evolutionary path where you're constantly ascending and becoming the truer version of who you are supposed to be. So please, don't be afraid of confusion. Don't be afraid of the mystery or the not knowing or the illogical or what your mind doesn't agree with. Drop that fear, because in all of that perceived chaos and in all of that perceived confusion, you are likely to find exactly what you are looking for in the form of the next step or the next answer or the next link in the chain of your upgrade journey. Sending you as much love as you can possibly absorb in this moment, and courage to dive into that confusion. Because once you dive into the confusion, very quickly, you'll be able to swim in the clarity.